Whether you have seen Stephen Fry on episodes of quiz shows at odds with the Catholic Church or on early clips of University Challenge, you will have remembered his charm and intellect. Fry has been involved with timeless comedies such as Blackadder and has grown to become a household name in British television. As well as being a sharp comic, Fry holds a wit and curiosity that is highly recognizable. His talents are showcased in many places, and his voice was even used in the first 4 Harry Potter games to bring life to the clunky animated characters. We remember these games as being at times impossible to play, but Fry did his best with these early square representations of witches and wizards. Let's explore some of the ideas behind his philosophy and how these have shaped his life. Be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to Art for Introvert channel. With every interaction, we can create new content, bringing you fascinating research on strange and unique topics. If you have a favorite quote or clip of Stephen Fry, then leave a comment for this video.
There are people who are so rabidly homophobic, and I just find that fascinating. It's as if you met someone who was absolutely spent all their life trying to get rid of red telephones. You go, what? You would not understand it.
Fry has written many books and essays on topics that frequently question how humans tell stories over time. Among these are 8 non-fiction texts that examine the history of classical music, the legend of Troy, and the journey of the poetic form. As well as these, he has written 3 autobiographies spanning his professional life and 6 fictional works. The best way to interpret Fry's philosophy is to look at his collection closely and pick out some key moments from his writing career.
But it's odd how philosophers, generally speaking, at least the ones I've read or the ones I value, don't have, in that sense, a philosophy. There is no particular Socratic or Nietzschean or Kantian way to live your life. They don't offer ethical codes and standards by which to live your life.
What is Fry talking about, and what are the names of these strange ways of living? Fry is challenging the idea of a rational or utilitarian way of living. In referencing Socrates, Dymek, and Kant, he is posting against the thought that there may be a principled code to live your life by. Fry believes we should remain open to curiosity and experiences as they come. We can't restrict ourselves to a law that is likely to change year by year. The only reason people do not know much is because they do not care to know. They are incurious. Incuriosity is the oddest and most foolish failing there is. Yes, Fry is challenging you to be curious. A curious mind will keep you entertained and knowledgeable, and this is far better than any intellect you might have. In Fry's mind, we must forever remain curious about our surroundings, literature, art, and film. How else can you manage to read through all our great content? People who can change and change again are so much more reliable and happier than those who can't. Fry challenges us to remain open to change and challenge. We have all had a goth phase or a few days when we've kept looking at the same pictures of cats repeatedly. However, the most important element in sustaining happiness is receptivity to change. Like Fry, we must explore intellect and ideas that are completely new to us.
What I mean is, they actually believed in progress. And there's no real evidence that anyone before them ever had. Indeed, they had evidence across the Mediterranean at the great Egyptian civilizations, which for 3,000 years basically didn't change. You're right, you could go into a temple and look round it, an Egyptian temple, and then go to another one and say, well, those 2 temples are more or less the same, and they would be 2,000 years apart. Now that to us is insane.
Echoing some of the earliest quotes mentioned, Fry champions the idea of human change and progress. His reflections on the stagnancy of Egyptian culture are not made to poke fun at the achievements of that ancient civilization. Not that it would be easy to laugh at ancient Egypt, but rather to highlight the importance of innovative human behavior in the development of civilization. His work and relationship with Hugh Laurie have also been essential for defining his philosophy. Laurie and Fry met at Cambridge and have become a renowned double act since the sketch comedy A Bit of Fry and Laurie. In typical British fashion, they approach everything with slapstick humor and farce. Much like Monty Python, Fry and Laurie's comedy happily takes the piss out of the stiffness of the Englishman and his strange obsessions with television and manners. Like Fry's philosophy, the comedies he has been involved in approach human nature and behavior with curiosity.
So, Richard, how are you feeling?
Pretty fit, sir.
Good. Not too tired?
No, sir, feeling pretty fit.
Excellent. Congratulations on Prague, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Did Major Henderson debrief you on the way in?
He did, sir, as a matter of fact, yes.
Oh, well, then you'd better borrow a pair of these for the time being.
Thank you.
Now, Richard, I booked you on a flight to Berlin this evening. It's a night flight, so you should be able to get plenty of sleep on the way over.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you're to book in at the Hotel Belledorf. It's on the Königstrasse.
Belledorf, I know it, sir.
Oh, excellent. Then you should be able to find it all right.
Yes, sir.
Good. If not, you can always ask.
Yes, sir. And then?
Well, I thought you might be pretty tired, so I suspect that you should sleep in for most of that day. We'll call it a rest day, shall we?
Right, sir.
Now, I haven't fixed up anything desperately early for the next day. I suggest you sleep until the afternoon. All right.
As we mentioned ancient Egypt, we can't help inviting you to our course, Cultures of the World. The link is in the description box.
If we empower ourselves with responsibility over our actions, responsibility over our destinies, and responsibility for directing and maintaining and creating our own ethical and moral frameworks, which is the most important thing really, isn't it? Because perhaps the greatest insult to humanism is this idea that mankind needs a God in order to have a moral framework.
Fry has never been shy of sharing his political opinions, even in sensitive cases. In 2005, Fry abstained from voting in the 2005 general election in the UK because of the stances of both the Conservative Party and Labour Party toward the Iraq War. Since his abstention, he has remained outspoken on issues that concern the voice of the individual. Fry is a signatory member of the British Jews for Justice for Palestinians, and in 2021 he supported a petition put forth by 2 Holocaust survivors that would be instrumental in allowing examination of the plight of the Uyghur Muslims. The campaigns that Fry has put his weight behind often examine the difficulties of censorship and oppression. He looks past religious and geographical barriers to draw more attention to the human difficulties in the world. Central to Fry's approach to philosophy and writing is his homosexuality. During his early life and teenage years, Stephen Fry kept it secret. This was not out of doubt, as Fry stated that his sexuality, quote, began when I came out of the womb. Rather, he kept quiet about his true sexuality to remain inoffensive. This, however, did not last, and Fry has embraced his homosexuality, becoming an important figure for the LGBT community. In talking about his sexuality, Fry has stated, "My first words as I was being born, I looked up at my mother and said, 'That's the last time I'm going up one of those.'" One could only imagine Fry as a baby looking up at his mother with bemusement. In 2007, he was named the 23rd most influential gay person in Britain, and he also played Oscar Wilde, his idol, in the 1997 film Wilde. His performance as Oscar Wilde won him a nomination for Best Actor in the Golden Globe Awards. At times, Fry has landed himself in controversy. In 2009, he was interviewed by Jon Snow, a prominent British journalist, and expressed concern regarding the alliance between the British Conservative Party and the Polish Law and Justice Party in the European Parliament. Fry vehemently stated that there were those who remember which side of the border Auschwitz was on and know the stories, and know how much of the anti-Semitic and homophobic and nationalistic elements in countries like Poland. Fry later apologized for such comments, yet what remains more important is the fact that Fry is willing to put his opinion down on the table, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Fry openly declares himself as an atheist and a humanist, and has sided with the late and great Christopher Hitchens, an intellectual commentator who was known for his eloquent and fearless writing abilities. Despite these declarations, Fry was never far away from religion. Though he was not brought up in a religious household, his mother was Jewish. As well, he takes great pride in exploring the world of myth and ancient cultures. Publications such as Mythos 2017 and Troy 2021 delve into the legends of Greece, indicating the conflict we have always had with the existence of gods. Stephen Fry shows us how important the textual nature of religion is, even for staunch atheists, and he openly challenges religion with the sharp intellect that has defined his career. If you have never entertained the writings or work of Stephen Fry, then now is the perfect time to do so. His philosophies on sex, religion, politics, and humanism are filled with unique charm. Despite all of the controversy, Fry has never been afraid to express his philosophies. Maybe we can take note of Fry's journey and realize the importance of ourselves in a world full of doubt and myth. Like Fry, we must remain ever curious about sex, happiness, and the strange little things that make us smile, even if these may only be memes or absurd comedy sketches. Fry's work on ancient cultures are great. You know what else is great? Our course on Cultures of the World. The link is in the description box. For now, be sure to check out our other videos and content by Art for Introvert. Are you familiar with Stephen Fry's works on TV or in writing? Do you agree that receptivity to change is what makes our life more fulfilling?